great out of doors. Restful, calm, majestic. There's nothing like it to give you the feeling that it's great to be alive. Everyone shares in the feeling. Everyone, that is, except Ed Parmalee. Ed has a problem. No, it isn't Marion, his wife. It's this. Ed doesn't know what's making that noise. What's more, he's afraid to find out. Why? He's scared it might be something serious, and his fear has frozen his judgment. He knows something is the matter with the engine, but because he's scared of what it might be, he won't admit anything's wrong. That's what a simple fear can do. Here are some other things it can do.
Ed, what's that noise?
Noise? What noise?
Ed's not really an idiot. He's simply denying the source of anxiety, pretending there's nothing there. Fear can also make us project the anxiety, try to laugh it off.
It's a kind of knock-knock, knock-knock.
Oh, I get it. Knock, knock. Who's there? Marion. Marion who? Marion Haste, repent at leisure.
Or, if that doesn't work, there's the key.
Why don't you go back to Glassner's garage? Now, Ed, you're just being stubborn. Just the way you are about your stomach trouble.
Oh, for crying out loud, lay off, will you?
And that was the last refuge in ducking the issue. Anger. Unreasoning anger. But you can't drive away anxiety about your car or your stomach by denial, sarcasm, or anger. There are always reminders.
Forget it.
And there comes a time when it's impossible to ignore the trouble any longer. So you may want advice. It's easy to get.
Looks bad. Once they start to go, it's curtains.
Valve lock, grind a camshaft.
Nah, report a widget fittings.
My brother-in-law had the same trouble. Bluey.
Ed is now more confused and worried than he was before. But what's this? Save expensive repair bills. Recondition your own motor. Results guaranteed. Well, there are the results. And they're guaranteed.
Now, will you take it to Glassner's, Ed?
Well,
I'll tell you what I'd do, Mac. A place down the road a ways, a fellow named Clyde. Got a special system for taking a motor down. Save dough.
This is Clyde. Got a special system for taking a motor apart.
Little worse shape than I figured, Jack. I gotta put in king-size ring flanges, ammo distillate pump suppressors, and mill the casing mount.
Ed didn't save a dime by going to Clyde.
too bad, Mr. Parmalee. Wish you'd brought it in when the trouble first started. Now... Well, here's the tariff. We replace it. What's the matter, Mr. Parmalee? Something bothering you?
Yes, something's bothering Ed. His stomach. As Marion said, it's been on the blink for a couple of weeks now. Again, Ed's worried and scared. Worried that his indigestion might be something serious, and scared to face the problem. So when the subject comes up...
Why do you take that stuff all the time, Ed?
He uses the same bag of tricks. Denial.
What do you mean? I don't take it all the time.
Laughing it off.
I don't think it does you any good.
Well, well, the Florence Nightingale of Blake Street.
We were talking about your stomach.
Icy disdain. And finally, anger.
Ed, I wish you'd go and see a doctor.
Out! Get out!
Just a minute, Ed. Huh? You're being pretty difficult, you know.
I'm being difficult.
Right. The same as you were about your, car.
Oh.
You know, your body's a lot like your car motor, except that it's a little harder to parts for it. When your motor's in good shape, it runs like this. When something goes wrong, it usually gives you a warning. Your body usually gives you a warning, too. When it does, it's best to pay attention and do something about it.
Do something? My medicine cabinet is loaded with stuff.
Ed, using that in your stomach is like using this in your engine. It's dangerous. Look, Ed, you've had indigestion for more than a couple of weeks. Remember that signboard? It's something that could mean cancer.
Yeah. Well, I might as well give up then. Like the fellas were saying just the other day.
Cancer? Once it starts in, it's curtains.
Runs in the family.
Contagious, too.
My wife's uncle had it. Bluey. You've heard amateur diagnosis before. You ought to know what it's worth. Nothing.
Well, what can I do?
Very simple. Get your clothes on and go, right now, to see a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's perfectly right and normal to be afraid of cancer. Cancer is an enemy, but you don't fight it by getting panicky. Instead, you take positive action. You go to a man who has the weapons to fight the enemy. Wait a minute. Ed, not the man. Remember Clyde, the mechanic with the special system? This is the same type of operator. Yes, the only man to trust is a recognized physician. Ed's still pretty nervous.
All right, Mr. Parmalee.
You're always more scared of something you know nothing about. And Ed has a lot to learn about cancer. Here are the facts. Cancer is not contagious. Cancer is not hereditary. Cancer is curable. Thousands of Americans are cured of cancer every year by one or more of 3 recognized cures: surgery, X-ray, and radium. You see, a cancer is a group of cells within your body whose growth is uncontrolled and very rapid. At first, the cancer may be localized, but unless its growth is checked quickly, it spreads. It may spread this way by direct extension, or, which is even more dangerous, it may spread like this, with cells leaving the main part of the cancer and entering the bloodstream to lodge and grow in other parts of the body. This is called metastasis. It can happen to a cancer at any time. When it does, the problems of locating and attacking the cancer are greatly increased. Cancer must be found and treated before it extends too far or metastasizes. Early examination is half the battle in successful cancer treatment. That means going to a doctor. With new scientific methods, we can accurately detect cancer much earlier than we could even 5 years ago. But in order to get to a doctor early, we must constantly be on the lookout for cancer's danger signals. Watch for these. Any sore that does not heal, a lump or thickening in the breast or elsewhere, unusual bleeding or discharge, any change in a wart or mole, persistent indigestion or difficulty in swallowing, persistent hoarseness or cough, any change in normal bowel habits. Thousands of people are enjoying life today because they went to their doctors early. But the fact is that twice as many people could be cured of cancer every year if we would all do these things. Watch for the danger signals. Ignore rumor mongers. Keep away from quacks. Put no trust in so-called home remedies for cancer. Go to the doctor regularly for checkups and go immediately when a symptom shows up that might mean cancer. But here's Ed again a few days later, waiting for the results of his examination.
All right, Mr. Parmalee.
Well, Ed, here are the answers you've been waiting for.
Ed realizes now how valuable was the time he wasted in denial, sarcasm, and anger.
And worry. To get to the point you're most concerned about, though, Ed, you do not have cancer.
I don't... Oh, what a knucklehead I've been? Oh, why didn't I get down here weeks ago? Oh, boy, no more worrying.
Hold it, Ed. It is foolish to worry day and night about cancer, but it's just as foolish not to worry about it at all. Be on guard. Don't let fear make a mess of your life again, but use your good common sense. Well, Ed's not making the same mistake twice. Now he watches for warning signals and goes to a doctor every 6 months for a checkup, no matter how well he may feel. Oh, yes, and so does Marion. And what a difference it makes, ensuring their health, their peace of mind, and their dispositions. Ed and Marion are able to enjoy life to its fullest.
Every 3 minutes, someone dies of cancer. Day after day, week after week, month after month, cancer kills close to 200,000 of our people each year. Yet more than 1/3 of these deaths can be prevented. Fear, ignorance, superstition are responsible for these needless casualties.
My dear, what a terrible disgrace. They say she died of cancer.
I'm just sure that she caught it from that old Mrs. So-and-so. Cancer germs were all over the place.
Once you get cancer, that's all, brother. You're through. That's one thing that can't be cured.
A friend of mine told me about a new medicine for cancer. It's just wonderful. You don't have to have an operation.
Everybody knows it's inherited. None of my folks had cancer, so I don't have to worry.
Don't be a sucker. Everyone's chances of developing cancer are just about the same regardless of heredity. We all have to be on guard. No case of cancer has ever been cured by patent medicine, salves, pastes, ointments, or other quack treatments. Cancer is no more of a disgrace than pneumonia or any other disease. Cancer is not contagious. Many people are being cured of cancer every day. Now, to study cancer's effect on the human body. Let's assume that our organs are like a group of interrelated factories. Raw materials are brought to the factories by the bloodstream, which travels through the arteries. Waste products are carried away by the veins and lymph canals. The cells of the body may be thought of as workers in these factories. These cells work smoothly along on their routine job of keeping the body alive and healthy. Occasionally, a cell dies. When this happens, a healthy cell merely divides itself to fill the gap. When the gaps are filled by new cells, the division stops, and the cells go on with their work. This is normal cell behavior, and most people live out their lives in this untroubled fashion. Once in a while, something goes wrong with the normal cell, and cancer originates. The healthy normal cell turns into a malignant cancer cell. It steals food from the normal cell. dividing and multiplying relentlessly. Cancer cells Since cancer starts with one cell, it can be cured if it is treated while it is still in its original place, by removal through simple surgery. By radiation from X-ray tubes. By rays emanating from radium. When every single cancer cell is removed by surgery or destroyed by X-ray or radium, the patient is cured. If cancer is not destroyed when it is localized, here's what happens. This small cancer growth in the breast is neglected. Now we're in trouble. The cancer cells have escaped from their original location and are getting into the lymph canals, although in some cases, cancer cells travel through the bloodstream as well. The malignant horde is on its way to invade other parts of the body. The invading horde reaches the lymph nodes under the armpit. This is the last chance, because when the cancer cells escape from this lymph node, they move from the armpit to the point at the base of the neck where the lymph pours into the bloodstream. Now they are pumped by heart action to the lungs where many new cancers develop. The blood then carries some of the cancer cells from the lungs back to the heart, which pumps them out through the arteries to all parts of the body. When the neglected cancer has spread throughout the body, there is no hope for cure. Fortunately, many cancers can be cured if recognized and treated in time. So look out for these danger signals. Any sore that does not heal, particularly about the tongue, mouth, or lips. A painless lump or thickening, especially in the breast, lip, or tongue. Irregular bleeding or discharge from any natural body opening. Progressive change in the color or size of a wart, mole, or birthmark. Persistent indigestion. Persistent hoarseness. Unexplained cough or difficulty in swallowing. Any change in normal bowel habits. Pain is seldom a symptom of early cancer, so don't forget these danger signals. Any sore that does not heal, particularly about the tongue, mouth, or lips. A painless lump or thickening, especially in the breast, lip, or tongue. Irregular bleeding or discharge from any natural body opening. Progressive change in the color or size of a wart, mole, or birthmark. Persistent indigestion. Persistent hoarseness, unexplained cough or difficulty in swallowing. Any change in the normal bowel habits. At the first symptom, go to your doctor. If necessary, he will send you to a hospital for a more complete examination than he can give in his office. Here at the hospital, a highly trained team will serve you. This team includes a physician who has special knowledge of the microscopic appearance of cancer tissues. This pathologist will be able to tell your doctor whether the growth you have is actually cancer. If it is, early treatment can save your life for yourself and loved ones. You must save yourself. Remember the danger signals. Go to your doctor at the first symptom. Cancer must be stopped before it gets away.
Would you please call on to Mr. Black's line, please?
Mrs. Black.
This is Smith of Long and Company. Is Charlie there?
I'll be sure to give him the message. Thank you. Goodbye.
This is Long. Well, hello.
These offices, so well equipped, really looked alive. They seemed to have the method for making business thrive. At Short and Company, right next door, the personnel had know-how. But this company, though well equipped, looked a bit offbeat somehow.
Mr. Short? Well, who's calling? No, he isn't.
Hello? I've been waiting for 5 minutes. What's going on?
Oh? How many boxes? Well, now that order number's out.
I see you now. Order number 18208, huh? That's what you want? Okay, call you back. Bye.
What was that again? Oh, where is that order book?
Indeed, Short and Long were much alike. Their offices seemed the same. Yet the trend on poor Short's progress chart was economic shame.
Hello? Hello? Who's there? Hello? Hello?
Here's the mail, Mr. Short. Advertisements and a booklet that looks interesting.
Ads and booklets. No orders. No wonder we're losing business.
But, sir...
Cancel all my calls today, Miss Symes. I'm in conference. With myself, that is.
How come Long was so successful? This caused Short consternation. What could be the difference in their business operation? But Short was quite determined. He'd just browse round about, for somewhere in his neighbor's place, he'd find the secret out.
Good morning, Long and Company. Just one moment, please.
Mr. Smith's office, Miss Riley. Certainly, would you hold on, please? Mr. White, I have a call for you on Mr. Smith's wire.
Why, hello, Mr. Short. Why, the funny costume.
This is Long. Hello, Jim. Yes, that matter has been taken care of. Thank you for calling.
Yellow desk set. Green phone.
Yes, Mr. Dingle. That's D for David. I-N-G-L-E. Yes, I have your message. Thank you, Mr. Dingle. Goodbye.
Miss Brown, I'll be with Jackson if there are any calls.
Yes, Mr. Long.
The order number is PQ7X2987. That's right. No trouble at all, sir. Goodbye.
Short finished with his survey. Success now must be his fate. For everything he'd seen at Long's, he had tried to duplicate.
Very good, Miss Sands. Oh, yes, call Finchley for me, please.
Yes, sir.
Well, who's this? Yeah, Miss White. I got that order.
What was that again? Oh, where is that order book?
Not until Mr. Finchley is there.
I've got my man waiting.
Well, put him on. I'm ringing mine.
Green phone, pinstripe suit.
Where is Short? He called me. Forget it.
Hello? Hello? Well, speak up. What is it? Oh, hung up.
Now Short's place matches Mr. Long's. Location, form, shape, and size. Short anticipates happy times with business on the rise. If it worked for Long, why not for Short? The logic seemed okay. So with passing time, the charting line changed from day to day. Now for Mr. Short and Company, cares and woes, they got 'em. For lo, things got no better. The trend still went to bottom. The magic touch of Mr. Long was a mystery Short must solve. To lift his books out of the red or watch his firm dissolve. So this was Short's most desperate plan, sneaking in at dark of night. Perhaps alone in Long's abode, some clue would come to light.
Can't understand it. I advertise. My machines are just like Long's. My salesmen are tops. Looks familiar. Seems like I've got one of these somewhere. Yeah, just like the one Long has. Here, the voice of your business. Do your telephone manners hurt business? What's wrong with our manners? Does the voice of your business create the kind of image you want?
Was this the clue to Long's success? Was his secret finally known? Did Short and Company fail to show courtesies on the phone? Answering promptly, speaking clearly, transferring calls and dialing right, taking messages and orders, and at all times being polite. Keep a handy list of numbers. Maintain a pleasant tone. With all these points together, then your business voice is known.
Does the voice of your business create the kind of image you want? What kind of image?
Hello? Where is everybody? Hello, Finchley speaking. I'd like to talk with Mr. Short, please.
Who? Oh, yes, Mr. Finney. Just a second. Oh, my. I'll say his office. Wait a minute.
No, this isn't Short. I'll switch you back to the operator.
Hello, Short.
Oh, he's not here. Oh, you all mixed up, Buster.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello. No, now you got the wrong department. All right,
Are you through talking to Mr. Short?
I haven't got him yet.
Oh, my. So just a moment. Oh, my.
Short, is that you?
No, he's not here. I don't know, but he must be here somewhere, I think. I don't know.
This isn't business. Sounds like a menagerie. Never mind. I'll call Long and Company.
Could it be? No, impossible. Just as I thought. Everything normal.
Hello? Who? Oh, yes, Mr. Finney.
Oh, he's not here.
No, this is
No wonder we're in trouble. So that's how the voice of my business sounds. Hello, hello, what is it? Hello, hello! No one there. What? Oh, no. Me too? Perhaps it's not too late to change our ways.
So Mr. Short had found the key that caused his hopes to rise. The secret was always open right before his eyes. Things have changed for Mr. Short. He's really on a par with Long. For now, he too is quite aware of phone habits right and wrong. No more would he stoop to silly stunts and sneak about at night. With just a little training, he had set his office right. Salesmen, switchboard girls, secretaries, clerks, and all simply use their common courtesies in making a phone call.
And what's your number, please? Plaza 3, 3598. Thank you. I'll give him your message.
This is White. May I help you? Would you care to wait, or may I call you back?
Yes, Mr. Fink, I have the message. Now I'll transfer you to Mr. Bottle.
Answering quickly, taking messages properly, transferring of a call, leaves the strong impression that you're really on the ball.
Mr. Short's office. Miss Symes.
I'd like to talk with Mr. Short, please.
Good morning, Mr. Finchley. Just a moment, please.
This is Short. Oh, yes, Mr. Finchley. Thank you for your order. Yes, thank you. Goodbye. Oh, Mr. Finchley, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Short is now an expert, and others he'll advise. The principles of phone technique are points to emphasize. This everyday politeness when making a telephone call gives a help to business and boosts morale for one and all.
Congressman O'Gulliver was apparently washed overboard during a violent storm at sea. We switch to our Washington reporter for further news. Take it away, Bravely.
Thanks, bluntly. About Congressman O'Gulliver. He was at sea. There was a storm. He is missing. Good night, Fred.
Good night, Bravely.
Where am I? Must be a desert island. Maybe inhabited by cannibals. Huh? What's that? Oh, it's just a wild rabbit. A rabbit on a desert island?
Hey, it's a human.
Do you think it's safe?
You can't be too careful.
Talking animals? I must be dreaming.
Well, now, we can look at this in two ways. He could be a spy, or flotsam and jetsam, or then again...
Oh, knock it off, Bevo. This is no time for speeches.
I get it. It's a gag. I've been rescued. And you fellas are wearing costumes. Pretty funny. Let me see now. Who is it? Which one of my fun-loving colleagues? Charlie Freebish? Bruce Crumley? Okay, boys. The joke's over. Take off those silly suits. I'd know you anywhere.
Whoever he is, he's a happy one.
You swallowed too much salt water.
Come on, fellas. The masquerade's over. Where did you get these shabby fur outfits?
I would like to state, sir, this shabby outfit, as you call it, happens to be my own skin.
A bear. It's a real talking bear.
A very clever observation, fella. We know who we are, but who are you?
I'm a lost congressman. That's who. A human.
A congressman. Big deal. Hey, Bevo, he's a congressman, too, and a human besides.
What's so funny? We humans are considered smarter than animals, you know.
Maybe so, but we're not lost.
Now, see here. I'm Congressman Mark O'Gulliver from the United States of America.
What a coincidence. Now I am Congressman Bevo Bear of the United States of Animalia.
Oh, come now. This is too much. I've got to be dreaming. Or out of my head. A bear congressman?
Relax, fellow. He really is a congressman.
Do you mean you have a government?
Yep. It meets right over there on Coconut Hill. Our representatives are elected by the animals of Animalia.
Amazing.
And through the trees over there are some of our rapidly expanding industries.
Government? Industries? How did it all happen?
Well, let's head for town, and I'll tell you all about it. Many years ago, some of you humans left an awful lot of equipment on our island.
It must have been war surplus.
Well, we found a peaceful use for it. Piece by piece, that is. The Quonset hut made an ideal schoolhouse. And the set of encyclopedias we found really gave us some book learning. The farmers learned how to till the land. We discovered raw materials and how to use them. Some enterprising folks got together and built a transportation system. The eager beavers started their own business with smashing success. And everyone benefited from the Beaver Dam Water Company. It supplied the whole country and was an important source of water and power to homes and industries alike.
Well, it's still hard to believe. It's like being in an animated cartoon.
Oh, we're for real, all right. In fact, maybe we can give you some real help.
Can you help me get back to the United States?
What do you need?
A miracle or a steamboat.
Don't know about miracles, but step inside. We might be able to build you a steamboat. Well, let's see now. I've already studied a little bit about boats. Yes. Here, there it is. Steamboats.
But how do I pay for it?
Well, you can arrange a loan through our coconut bank. You see, we're on a coconut standard.
But how can we equate dollars into coconuts?
Dollars? Well, maybe you could send us a load of pistachios or something practical like that.
Okay, we'll work something out. This won't be the first nutty deal I've made. When can you start?
Right away. This is O'Hare of O'Hare Shipbuilding Division. I'd like to order some lumber.
Okay, O'Hare. That's a job my boys can sink their teeth into.
One ton of coal? Right, O'Hare. I dig.
So the wheels of industry start turning.
It's amazing the way you've grasped the industrial know-how.
Private enterprise is a natural instinct.
You know, I think you're right. I'll have to remember that.
Of course, we may have a little more animal cunning than you folks.
I think you've got a point. But tell me, when do you think you'll finish?
I calculate in about 3 weeks.
You rabbits are pretty fast. In the meantime, I'll get rid of my whiskers and maybe Bevo Bear will take me to your leader. What a wonderful opportunity to study the workings of a nation in its simplest form. I'll have to write a report for the boys back in Washington.
Here we are at the Capitol, O'Gulliver.
It's beautiful.
You should see it when the palm blossoms are in bloom. Yeah, and there's the president's residence. It's known as the greenhouse. Go right in. The president is expecting you.
Well, well, a human, eh? Often wondered when we'd get to see one of you again. A congressman, too. Well, maybe you can give us a few pointers.
From what I've seen, Mr. President, you don't need my advice.
Oh, it hasn't been easy learning to run a country from a book, especially with a few pages missing. We realized pretty rapidly the necessity for a governmental system. But lately, we've been getting ourselves all tied up in green hemp.
You mean red tape?
No, green hemp. That's what happens when the business of government gets all tangled up in itself.
He means red tape.
Why, government gets so big, it even gets out of line for a lion. That's a little in-joke among us cats. But I suppose your country runs pretty smoothly?
Well, now, I guess a little green hemp bothers us now and then, too. But tell me more about your capital.
I can point it out from here. There's our Capitol building with its 2 houses of Congress and our federal court, a high tribunal, so to speak.
Yes, indeed.
And there's our building for the bureaus and regulatory agencies.
Just that little building?
Oh, that's only one end. There's more and more and more and more and more.
And you're still building.
It seems to be a never-ending project.
You really have copied my government.
Right down to dividing up into states. Look at our map. While you're waiting for your boat, be my guest. I'd like to show you around my country.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And so, 3 weeks later...
What a rewarding experience. I hope O'Hare has finished my boat so I can return to Washington with my report. Not a sound. It must be finished. Hey, O'Hare, where's my boat?
I'm sorry, O'Gulliver. I guess the deal's off.
Well, what happened? Your power is stopped, and your workers have gone.
Somebody threw a people wrench into the machinery. My assembly line is an unemployment line.
What could go wrong? It was such a simple job. Cut and dried.
That's part of it.
What do you mean?
The cutting and drying of lumber.
I don't get it.
Neither did I. Lumber, that is. I'll explain. You see, I bought my lumber directly from the forest in the state of Woodland. It was hauled by rail through the state of Flatland and left in a volcano cave for drying out. That's when the commission turned on the heat.
Gentlemen of the Commerce Commission, please, your attention. We got some appalling hauling problems about lumber, I should mention. The shipbuilders are in deep water and they need investigation.
Gotta get them help.
They may be outraging some interstate regulations. And if there aren't rules to cover whatever it is they're doing, then we'll just have to write some more, so start your brains a-stewing.
Gotta get them help.
Then what happened?
I got these forms. I had contracted for interstate rates for hauling, but because we now have dried wood instead of green lumber, the commission added additional tariffs.
Did you tell your congressman about this?
Sure, but let me tell you what happened when I went with the Commissioner Harlow Blob to see Congressman Bevo Bear.
Yes, O'Hare, I see your problem. See here, Commissioner. As a representative of the people, I want to know how the railroad can charge these extra rates.
You should know, Congressman. You helped write the law.
I know.
You see, page 105, section 8, paragraph 5 states, material taken into one state and subjected to change in nature will be deemed to be a new product and subjected to new freight rates.
But the intent of the law was to...
Was to control interstate rates. Right, Congressman?
Yes, but...
And we're dealing with green lumber that becomes a kiln dry lumber, right? Ipso facto. The law applies here. You gave us the authority to determine these things, and determine we will. In fact, I set up a special authority of 55 members to decide this matter.
But the law...
It's your law, Congressman. If it isn't clear, we commissioners must presume the intent of the law. I only administer it within the law, you know.
Well, I must say it's all very legal and all that. See here, O'Hare, the commissioner seems to be within his rights.
His rights? What about my rights as a business rabbit? What about the unemployed? You know, Bevo, you law-making fellas are representatives of us ordinary citizens. We'll have something to say about that at the polls. It makes me hopping mad just to think about it.
Calm down, O'Hare. You're not alone. We also have similar situations in my country. Boy, what I could tell you about how the railroad, petroleum, and power businesses are affected by bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy. That's the demon we're fighting all over the country.
You mean there's more?
Well, my power didn't just stop by itself. Some dabbling drips have left me with only a drop. It all started when the water level back at the dam dropped too low. So the owner of the power company filled out a commission application for a new location. It seemed simple enough.
Special delivery, boys. Well, what do you know? This fella wants to build a dam in another state. Too bad. Too bad he should have filled it out. Should have filled this out. In quadruplicate. They never seem to learn how to fill out forms and applications. I guess I'd better send them our latest up-to-date revised regulations, Miss Cheshire. Let's follow this up. Do you have the new copies there?
Here's part of them. Oh, dear.
Oh!
Sorry about that, sir.
Miss Cheshire, because of the pressure, because of our heavy paperwork, there's a problem that we gotta face. It looks like we have to increase our staff, and on account of that, we'll need more space.
Munificent, Commissioner Hippie. Of this you can be sure. With a little more help and a little more space, I'll have things purring around this place.
You can't have too much help, you know, Miss Cheshire. Call my staff together. We're gonna see what we can do about this water situation.
What? Me read all this? I'll have to increase my staff.
You realize there's a regulation against that right now?
I might have known.
We only follow the letter of the law. That's right there. Section 92, paragraph 60 in volume R. It simply means we must investigate completely before you start.
What's to investigate? All I want to do is reopen my company.
Haste makes waste, my friend.
Very clever, H.H. Good thinking, sir.
Just leave this matter in our hands.
Now, look, Commissioner. What do you know about the water business? I've spent my life in it.
What did I tell you? These businessmen are all alike. It's a built-in hostility against anyone trying to bring order out of chaos. See here, my good man, we're just trying to help you. Just look in volume R of revised regulations and detail.
You mean last month's revised?
Oh, there's our problem, boys. He doesn't have this month's revised. Let's bring him up to date.
This month's revised, coming right up, H.H.
I give up.
I knew he'd see it our way when faced with facts and logic. It makes me feel good to be of help to these confused business beavers.
So you see, O'Gulliver, we're up to our ears in regulations.
But what about legal recourse?
Oh, yeah, we went to court, and our lawyer presented a good case.
Honorable judges of the High Tribunal, my clients realize that certain laws are required. But it's the interpretation of these laws by the regulatory commissions. They are, in effect, taking over the lawmaking rightfully belonging to the legislature. The very laws that were designed to protect the citizens are being twisted against them. I ask you, most learned judges, let the wheels of production start turning again.
This court has reached a decision on the appeal of O'Hare. Since the quasi-judicial body of commissioners has ruled on this matter, and they are the real experts, we will not reverse their ruling. The law stands as interpreted. This high court so rules.
That's the way the whole ugly mess has been going.
Don't give up. Have you tried communicating with the people?
That's a good idea. Let's go to the radio station.
This
This is Meticulous Q Gush of the Animalia Network System, introducing a stranger to our shores who has something to discuss. Step right up to the micro can, Congressman.
Citizens of Animalia, I would like to speak to you and your government about an unfortunate development between some of your industries and your federal agency. Now,
Hold it. We have to cut you off the air. You didn't file Form 892 allowing political speeches. Too bad. Regulation K96 covers all this in the code. Also, triplicate copies of your speech must be filed.
But it's not exactly political.
Let me see. No profanity permitted in communication. We'd lose our license.
Profanity? What did I say?
It's right here. Oh, this should say water at Beaver Darn.
Oh, come now. This is silly. You're carrying the letter of the law too far.
We have to see that the regulations are observed, or we're the ones who get hauled on the mat.
But please, I've got to get on the air.
Well, maybe we can arrange it. But first, let me show you the program reports we're required to fill out. They're right here in this room.
This is ridiculous. Something must be done.
So you think we've got things pretty well mixed up, eh, Congressman?
I'd say things are going pretty badly.
Well, now, I thought we were following your government system very accurately.
Yes, but it seems something's going wrong.
Look, you're a lawmaker. You're in this political game. Put yourself in my place. What can I do?
It's true. Being a congressman can be a real task at times. In fact, time is a daily factor. There's never enough of it. Over the years, demands on a congressman's time have increased manyfold. There seems to be an endless line of people to see. There's never enough staff to handle the office detail, let alone the compiling of important factual information. Just the reading of the mail involves hours of time, culling the vital from the trivial. The volume of legislative reading material, such as bills and budgets, is monumental. And when we make laws, we do so by and large in good conscience. Agencies are set up to administer these laws. But it's when these laws get twisted and distorted by these agencies to fit situations never intended, then our prerogative as legislators is being usurped. The business of government gets out of hand. As you say, what can we do?
Now, I've been wondering, since we can't seem to control the interpretations of the bureaus, why not take a good long look at the original laws and see what they really meant?
And maybe rewrite them. An excellent idea. Why didn't we think of it sooner?
Learned gentlemen of the legislature, at the suggestion of Congressman Bevo Bear and our visiting human, Mark O'Gulliver, I have called this joint session of Congress to solve our national dilemma. Cause we've got problems, folks. Right here, I declare right here. We got problems right here in Animalia, and we're in a mess, a big fat mess. But we're all to blame, I must confess, so now's the time. I say now's the time to look our problems square in the eye. Let's call in every bureaucrat with all their files and things like that, and to find the answer to our problems, we gotta try. We got too many edicts and regulations, too many forms, questionnaires, and irritation. I tell you now, I tell you these things have gotta go. Go. We gotta rewrite all these laws, and this is obvious because the spirit of the country is getting mighty low. Low.
And so the Congress made some changes in the old laws. The results were immediate. There was a lot less bureaucracy, and bureaucrats found their work reduced to a minimum, requiring a lot less personnel. Former staff members so good at paperwork in the bureaus found more productive employment, along with other workers idle by the work stoppage. The various businesses tied up by green hemp soon came to life again. The new dam was completed, and once again, the wheels of industry started to hum.
Amelia. The time has come for me to say goodbye. Builder O'Hare has informed me that my ship is ready for launching.
We've kept it covered to surprise you.
I can hardly wait.
Here, just crack this coconut over the bow, and away you go.
Well, I hate to waste good money, but here goes. I christen thee Ship of State. This is my boat?
Yeah, great, isn't she? You see, the only complete page on boats was about Robert Fulton.
I understand. And you did a beautiful job.
It's our first model, you know. It may have a few surprises.
Nothing will surprise me from now on. What a fantastic island. I wonder why no one has found it before. And will I be able to find it again? Wow. Wait till the boys back home on the hill hear about this.
Well, Mark O'Gulliver, even if you never find your way back to this mysterious island, you've got a big story to tell back on Capitol Hill. This story should be told to the congressmen, businessmen, educators, all citizens, for everybody is affected. It is this: expanding federal regulation does not work for the best long-term interest of the public. And relief from this expanding bureaucracy can only come from concerned and vocal voters who demand that something be done. With this backing, an aroused Congress can then pass corrective legislation that will best reflect the wishes of the people. But it's important that a constant vigilance be maintained by the Congress and by the people, the voters, in order to prevent further expansion of unnecessary government regulation. So, sail on, O'Gulliver. Time is running out. Get this story told before it is too late. Full speed ahead. Go, O'Gulliver, go. Go, O'Gulliver, go. Tell it far, tell it wide, and go and tell it well.
Well, shiver my timbers, when I get home, have I got a story to tell?
I'm Roving Ray, your friendly sidewalk reporter, and I'm asking folks our question of the day. How do you do, madam? Drop dead. Excuse me, sir. I'm Roving Ray, your friendly sidewalk reporter, and I wonder if...
Sorry, buddy. I gave it the office.
Hello there, sir. I'm Roving Ray.
Well, of course you are. And I'm Inquiring Wilbur. Nice to meet you, Roving Ray.
I wonder if you'd mind answering our question of the day.
Be glad to. The answer is 4 lemons and 2 grapefruit.
But I haven't even asked you the question yet.
See how smart I am? Just out of curiosity, though, what was the question?
The question was, what is profit?
So, what's wrong with 4 lemons and 2 grapefruit?
Perhaps I should try someone else. Excuse me, sir. I'm Roving Ray, your friendly sidewalk reporter, and our question of the day is, what is profit?
Look, pal, I'm just what you call one of your plain, average, run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-road, honest, hard-working, nice guys of the world. So what do I know about profit?
Must be too tough a question.
What's tough about it? People simply don't understand that profit is the basis of our whole economic system. Without it, there'd be no incentive for improvement, no reason for increasing our productivity, no stimulant for becoming more proficient. Look, see this loaf of bread? How much did it cost you?
65 cents.
And, as we all know, bread is made from wheat, right?
Right.
How much of that 65 cents do you think the wheat farmer made as profit on that one loaf of bread?
2 grapefruit and 4 lemons.
Come on. And bring that loaf of bread. I'm going to teach you what profit is all about.
You boys must be lost.
How do you do, sir? I'm Roving Ray, your friendly sidewalk reporter, and this is my friend Inquiring Wilbur.
Well, what can I do for you?
We'd like to ask you a question about your profit on an average loaf of 65-cent bread like this.
Well, let's see. Out of the 65 cents the customer pays for that loaf of bread, 5 cents actually comes to me. But that's my gross profit, you understand. Out of that 5 cents, I have to buy new equipment, pay my taxes, buy gasoline, seed, fertilizer, pay interest on bank loans, things like that. So what I got left as my net profit is really 2/5 of a cent. Whew. You know, sometimes there ain't hardly enough left to buy my daughter a new dress. Right, Agnes?
Right, Paul.
Well, anything else I can do for you fellers?
Thanks anyway, Farmer Brown. Where do you suggest we go next?
I'd suggest you try the grain elevator operator. That's where I sell my wheat.
Come on, Wilbur.
Greetings, boys. I'm what you call one of your slightly above average, nevertheless typical all-around grain elevator operators.
And I'm Roving Ray, your friendly sidewalk reporter, accompanied by my good friend Inquiring Wilbur. We're here to ask you about your profit on this average loaf of 65-cent bread.
I see. Well, near as I can figure, I get 4 cents out of the 65. But mind you, out of that 4 cents, I gotta pay my taxes, maintain my equipment, take care of my overhead, invest in new facilities. So all that leaves me net is 1/5 of a cent out of my original 4-cent gross.
Henry!
Speaking of gross...
What do we do now?
Well, so far, the farmers accounted for 5 cents, and the grain elevator operator for 4 cents. That leaves 56 cents yet to be accounted for.
I wonder what would happen if I pulled that lever.
Having a somewhat analytical and logical mind, I would say that if you pulled that lever, we would go where that grain goes.
Shall we?
Why not? Been hoeborn long, boys? My name's Roving Ray, your friendly sidewalk reporter. And this is my friend Inquiring Wilbur.
Pleased to meet you.
We're here to find out how much profit the railroad gets out of the average 65-cent loaf of bread.
Well, I tell you, compared to 20 years ago, what with fewer tracks, fewer cars, old equipment, higher wages, competition from trucks and airplanes, my profit out of that one loaf of bread is no more than, well, as close as I can figure, say, 8 cents gross, 2/5 of a cent net. The ones you really want to check out, though, are the miller and the baker. So long, boys. The next time, buy a ticket.
Well, well, you boys look a little pale.
Hi there. I'm Roving Ray, your friendly sidewalk reporter, and this is my friend Inquiring Wilbur. We're here to ask you how much profit you, as the miller, make on this 65-cent loaf of bread.
In other words, how much dough do you make? Get it? Dough?
I get it. And would you believe that everybody who comes in here makes that same stupid pun? Nevertheless, in answer to your question, out of the 65 cents the loaf of bread costs the consumer, 10 cents comes to me. But by the time I pay for the maintenance of my machinery, rent, payroll, and amortization, just to mention a few, all my net amounts to is a half cent.
Pardon me, I hope you don't mind me asking, but, well, working with all this flour, does it ever bother you?
Well, yeah.
And please, don't make any jokes about how I like rolling in dough, or can I loan you a little bread? By the way, who are you anyway?
I'm Roving Ray, your friendly sidewalk reporter.
And I'm Inquiring Wilbur.
We're trying to find out how much profit you make on this average-size 65-cent loaf of bread.
So far, we've been to the farmer, the grain elevator operator, the railroad man, and the miller.
Did they tell you that 50% of the cost of moving and processing food goes for labor alone? And that with suppliers raising costs on one end and consumers demanding lower prices on the other end, we middlemen are caught right smack dab in the middle.
Must be why you're called middlemen.
Then what you're trying to say is that most of the cost of this loaf of bread is in the actual cost of making it and not in profit. But I'd still like to know, how much is your profit?
15 cents, give or take a penny. But that's my gross, mind you. After I've paid my labor costs, unemployment insurance, Social Security, hospitalization, and all the other fringe benefits, I end up with only a net profit of 3/4 of a cent. Watch out! Okay, boys, I'll give you just 38 seconds to ask me whatever it is you want to know. Go.
Your company handles the advertising for this loaf of bread, right?
Right.
2 questions. How much of its 65-cent retail price goes for advertising, and how much does your company receive in net profit for services rendered?
2 answers. 10 cents and 1/2 cent. What else?
That's it.
Better think of something else. You still have 18 seconds left.
I've got a question. When people still haven't finished talking and their time is up, how do you get rid of them?
Very simple. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, inquiring Wilbur, we've now accounted for all but 13 cents of the 65-cent price of that loaf of bread.
Thank goodness.
May I help you, gentlemen?
You the store manager?
That's what my badge says. R.D. Wyatt, store manager.
That's what it says, all right. It also says, if lost, please return to Mrs. R.D. Wyatt.
It says nothing of the kind.
Sorry.
Mr. Wyatt, how much do you figure that you, as the retailer, make on this one loaf of bread?
Well, it's not very much, I'll tell you that. Our overhead is, well, it's simply over our head. That's what it is. However, let's see. Anchovies, artichokes, bananas, beets. Here it is. Bread. We get exactly 8 cents a loaf, which, after paying the aforementioned overhead, figures out to be precisely 2/5 of a cent net. Does that answer your question?
You, Mr. Wyatt, have not only answered our question, you've made our day.
Thank you.
Well, that's that.
I'm afraid not quite. Besides, we've only accounted for 60 cents of the 65 cents.
You're kidding. Who gets the other nickel?
Who else? The guy whose name is on the wrapper. Mother Miller.
Hiya, boys. What can I do for you?
You're Mother Miller?
That's me, boys. I'm what you call the whole loaf.
I'll bet you are at that.
Tell me, Mother Miller, how much do you make on each one of your loaves of bread?
Who wants to know?
I'm Roving Ray, your friendly sidewalk reporter, and this is Inquiring Wilbur.
Okay, boys. You look straight to me, so I'll give it straight to you. I make a nickel. Of course, you boys understand that out of that nickel, we pay over 2,000 Mother Miller workers, build new Mother Miller buildings, test new Mother Miller products, and pay regular dividends to all those lovely people who are smart enough to invest in Mother Miller. So, boys, poor old Mother Miller ends up with 3/5 of a cent.
Almost makes you want to cry. Holy smoke!
What's the matter?
My shopping cart. I left it in front of the market.
Well, Inquiring Wilbur, if you've been paying attention, you now know that profit, no matter what the business, bread, clothing, gasoline, bicycles, or grass seed, depends upon certain basic fundamentals. So let's find out exactly how much you've learned. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. First of all, let's see if you can name all the people we just visited.
Well, that's easy. First there was the farmer, then the grain elevator operator,
the railroad man.
Okay, then the miller, the baker, the Mr. Big advertising guy, and then the store manager, and then Mother Miller.
Good. Now let's see if you can remember how much gross profit each one of them made out of the 65-cent loaf of bread.
Okay, the farmer made a nickel. I remember that.
Right.
And next was the grain elevator operator. I think he made 4 cents.
Right again.
I think I'll quit while I'm ahead.
No. Now, how about the railroad man?
8 cents?
Right on. And the miller?
Either 9 or 10. I can't remember which.
10.
I thought so. Next was the baker, and he made the most. 15 cents. And then Mr. Big, the advertising man. He made a dime.
You're doing great. 2 more to go.
The grocer, I think, made 7 cents. Or was it 8?
8.
And last was Mother Miller. I know she made a nickel.
For a grand total of 65 cents. But you still have to total up the net profits. The farmer made 2/5 of a cent. The grain elevator operator, 1/5 of a cent. The railroad man, 2/5 of a cent. The miller, 1/2 a cent. The baker, 3/4 of a cent. And Mr. Big's advertising company, 1/2 a cent. The retail grocer, 2/5 of a cent. And Mother Miller, 3/5 of a cent for a grand total net profit of 3 3/4 cents.
So, out of the 65 cents the retailer pays for the bread, all the people who make it, advertise it, and market it make less than a nickel.
Right. The rest goes for the expenses of doing business. Labor, machinery, loan interest, fringe benefits to employees, and all the many other costs that it takes to run a successful company. Okay, suppose you were to go into the ice cream business. What would you do first?
Make sure I had plenty of Rocky Road. I love Rocky Road.
Forget the ice cream. You haven't learned a thing, have you? Not one single thing.
Oh, no? Ask me anything you want about this loaf of bread. Go ahead, ask me.
Okay.
Agnes.
Agnes?
That was the name of the farmer's daughter, remember?
But I didn't even ask you the name of the farmer's daughter.
It shows you how smart I am. You know, it takes a good mind to comprehend the incomprehensible. I mean, some people just don't realize how economics...
I'm right.
You're wrong.
How do you know?
I know.
Ah,
I'm right.
that's not true.
It is so true.
False.
When we say something that is right, it is T-R-U-E, true. When we say something that is wrong, it is not true. It is F-A-L-S-E, false. And if we say something false on purpose, to fool or deceive somebody, then it's a L-I-E, lie. Now, when somebody says something we are sure is wrong, how can we know if it's a lie or just false? Unless we know his intentions. If he means to deceive us, it's a lie. But if he intends to tell the truth and is mistaken, then it is false. Is that clear? That's right, isn't it? Well, put on your blindfolds so we can try to explain with a story.
Why are we blindfolded?
To act out his story.
Oh, I see.
That's a lie. You can't see.
I'm not lying. I just mean that I understand.
Once upon a time, two blind men met...
That's not true. We're not blind.
Sorry. Two blindfolded creatures met an elephant. One of them bumped into the side of the elephant. The other stumbled over the elephant's tail. That's how they learned about elephants.
An elephant is like a hairy piece of rope.
You're wrong. An elephant is like a big wall.
Why do you lie about elephants?
When we disagree, must it mean that one is right and the other wrong?
Plainly, gee, I'm neither a rope nor a wall. Now see what you did. You hurt his feelings. Stop that. It smells terrible.
What lovely perfume.
It stinks.
That's a lie. It smells good.
It stinks, and that's the truth.
You're wrong. It's a lovely smell.
It stinks, 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 stinks. Stinks.
He's wrong. Isn't he? Here, you smell it. Isn't that nice?
Who is right this time?
What time is it?
1:30.
You're wrong. It's 29 minutes to 2.
Your watch must be lying.
Watches can't lie.
Yours did, because my clock says so.
Can a watch or any other thing try to deceive us on purpose?
At the sound of the tone, the time will be exactly 1:37.
I can see right here by my clock that she's wrong.
Wrong? Don't we often tell others they are wrong when we aren't really sure they are wrong?
What's that?
A funnel, dummy.
It's a hat, dummy. Can't you see it's the hat?
Don't be silly. It's a funnel.
A hat.
Is calling the funnel a hat a lie?
Is the bridge safe?
Yes.
You lied. You lied. You said it was safe.
I didn't lie. I thought it was safe.
You lied.
Wrong, yes. But was it a lie? Only if the intention was to deceive.
What's inside the door?
Nothing. I just looked.
You lied. You said you'd looked and there was nothing inside.
How about intentions here? False or lie?
Can't you take a joke?
Some joke. Bet you can't do this.
Who broke my dish?
He did.
Somebody's lying.
It was an accident.
Accident. True, false, or lie?
Hey, you're stealing my money.
I wasn't stealing. I just wanted to look at it.
Stop lying. You were stealing it.
I was not. I was going to put it back.
He's lying. Well, isn't he?
How can you tell if he's lying unless you know what he meant to do? His intentions.
I was just going to look at it.
He was going to steal it.
Unless we know for sure that he was going to steal the money, we have no right to say he was.
I'm sure. He's a thief.
How can you be so sure you're right?
I was going to put it back, and that's the truth.
And we should all believe you, because you are the only one who knows just what you intended to do.
When he says something I think is wrong, how can I be sure he's lying or if he's telling the truth?
Or something in between?
What do you mean?
Well, it's like being a judge. And your job is to take what others say and decide what is right.
Truth is right.
And what is wrong.
False is wrong. Truth, right. Truth, right. Lie, wrong.
Then a truth comes along with just a speck of lie in it. And then a part false, part true. You can't just drop them in with the all right or the all wrong. To be fair, you must have a place for most right, some wrong, and a place for part wrong, part right, as well as for honest mistakes, and for differences of opinion, and even for lies that are told with good intentions.
It isn't easy to be there.
Whoever said it was?
It happened the time when the clock in Alec Busby's office ran fast. Hello there, Alec.
Oh, hi, Dr. Wise. How's the research department?
Fine, Alec. But take it from an old authority, son. Slow down. That sounded good to busy Alec Busby. He decided to relax and look at the pictures in a book he had just bought for his little girl. But Alec was so bushed, he began to doze off. When suddenly he saw that the conductor looked amazingly like a white rabbit.
Tickets, please. Why, Sonny, you're traveling the wrong way. Hey! Stop the train!
You got my book.
Like poetry?
Well...
Then listen to this. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things. Of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings.
What is this? Where am I?
In Wonderland, where everything's topsy-turvy, and people say fantastic things. But don't worry, I've got a lot of answers from real authorities in my books right here. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Folks, don't be late for the party.
The Mad Tea Party?
Mad Teetotal Party. Come on.
Say, everybody in the book is here. The Mock Turtle, the Ugly Duchess, the twins, Old Father William, and Humpty Dumpty.
And our host, the Mad Hatter.
Welcome, welcome. You have a choice, my friend. Coffee, tea, or...
Oh, give them a drink.
No, not that. Not that. They might get the habit.
Wrong. Beverage alcohol is not a drug and is not habit-forming. Medical evidence shows no lasting damage to cells, tissues, or vital organs. In fact, a moderate drink or two is good for easing your tension.
Tension?
Yes. Tension's a common ill of our civilization. A light drink permits a fellow to enjoy life, ease a troubled mind. And the authority for that is Dr. H.E. Himwich in the American Medical Journal. I quote, "A relaxing drink may break a vicious circle so that one need not take his troubles to bed."
Now, about this relaxing drink.
I mock.
I hear the Mock Turtle.
But he's not a turtle.
Of course not. Or he wouldn't be Mock. He went to school at the bottom of the sea. He's very learned. Say anything, and he'll mock you.
Now, about this relaxing drink.
The beverage creates tension, sir.
Nonsense. Alcohol is the most readily available tension-reducing agent in our society. My authority, Dr. W.H. Cruikshank in the Canadian Journal of Public Health.
What does happen when you take a drink?
Well, let's see how alcohol behaves in the body. What makes it different from everything else is that it passes directly into the bloodstream. That's why its effect is immediate. The main blessing is that it relaxes some of the nerve centers, so that the knots of daily tension are untied, and a sense of well-being emerges to calm the nerves.
But you do not deny that alcohol is a poison.
Poison.
Nonsense again. Research has proved that beverage alcohol is no more poison than salt or vinegar. Too much of any can make you sick, and only the fool overindulges.
But relaxing that way will give you...
Alcoholism.
Alcoholism is a disease. The problem is not in the bottle, but in the man. And prohibition is not the answer. Now, if I may quote, it is our opinion that, except under the most extraordinary circumstances, moderate doses of alcohol do not convert a normal individual into a chronic alcoholic. My authority? The eminent Dr. Harold T. Hyman of Columbia University. No, I say an alcoholic is a sick person. Sick before he ever tasted his first drink.
Well, do you call it a medicine?
Of course not. It's unwise to use any product for self-medication. That's what doctors are for, to prescribe what's medically good for you.
But what about...
cirrhosis?
Most liver sufferers are not excessive drinkers. Cirrhosis, according to the National Vitamin Foundation, is caused by nutritional deficiencies and occurs in total abstainers. For instance, Muslim religion forbids drinking. Yet one of the highest rates of cirrhosis ever discovered was that of a Muslim teetotaling tribe. Their trouble was bad diet.
Tis. Taint.
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 Tis.
Tis.
It tis.
Taint.
What's all that commotion?
Teetotal D says it's a food.
Teetotal Dom says it's an appetizer.
Both correct. It's a quick energy food and a pleasant spur to the appetite.
Precisely.
Why, it's old Father William.
And may I add that as far as heart disease goes, alcohol's effect is secondary to peripheral cutaneous vasodilation.
What he's trying to say is that it relaxes the blood vessels and so eases strain on the heart. That's why so many doctors recommend it for certain heart conditions.
You are old, Father William, and yet you look well, and your hair has become very white. Yet you drink a nightcap before going to bed. Do you think at your age that is right?
If you're moderate in all of the things that you do, and moderate means having one wife. One drink to relax you, or at the most two, will actually lengthen your life. My doctor himself takes a drink now and then. A drink, most moderate, of course. If you think I am old, he's 110, and the old cod's as strong as a horse.
But you know, that song touches me. It is so true.
4 out of 5 doctors themselves drink, you know. And though some folks live a long, happy life without ever taking a drink, many doctors prescribe a cocktail a night for folks over 40. Not as a medicine, but as a relaxer. I have an authority for that. Dr. W.H. Gant of Johns Hopkins University. The doctor said, if alcohol had been discovered only 1 year ago, it would be the wonder drug of all wonder drugs.
Yes. Doctors agree. That tension is a part of most illnesses. Ergo, less tension, less illness. Less illness, longer life. Goodbye now.
Humpty Dumpty's correct. I quote from another authority. Moderate, steady drinkers have a greater expectation of life than abstainers. That's what Dr. Raymond Pearl, biologist on the staff of Johns Hopkins, says in his book.
Say, what is all this anyway?
The cocktail hour.
And let me amplify that. The Right Reverend James A. Pike, Bishop of the Protestant Episcopal Diocese of California, is my authority, and I quote from his book. The cocktail hour can be a time of real renewal. We can be lifted out of the ruts into which the day has taken us. Our imagination can be inspired, our visions cleared. Hey, young fella, here's where you leave. Leave! 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 Wake up, fella. This is your station. Hope you had a pleasant dream, Alec.
Forgot my book.
Mad as a hatter. So Alec's dream was ended. And as Alec joined his wife in their evening cocktail, with a toast to the solace, the comfort, the warmth of good fellowship, he couldn't help saying,
You know, that old Dr. Wise is right.
When we think about the easy life, just when did it start to get easy? Not in the caveman age, for sure. Even opening a door was a job. And what about cave girls' house cleaning? And laundry?
Oh, boy.
Try as she did, she lived in the wrong age for the easy way to homemaking. Not even hubby could help get the clothes clean, when cleaners weren't even invented. Not even outside helpers. Even thousands of years later, when men were busy pondering scientific thoughts, the easy way to cleaning and killing germs was a long way off.
Eureka! I suppose you're going to tell me that a body in a bathtub displaces an amount of water equal to its own bulk? Well, right now, would you mind cleaning up the bathroom?
There it was, woman's intuition, telling Mrs. Archimedes that a warm, damp bathroom couldn't be a clean bathroom. Not a nice way to keep a classic Grecian home. And besides, dirty tiles and bare feet didn't mix. Even Archimedes could have had athlete's foot.
By the way, my dear, a body in a bathtub does displace water equal to its own bulk.
When can I have this soup back?
No matter how, or where, or when, removing dirt and germs has always been a major concern of everyone in every age. in every age before ours, it was always a difficult or slow or often unpleasant chore. Clothes cleaning and house cleaning.
And now then, you will do the battlements. And you will do the north stairway. And you will do the linens in the main chambers of the south by southwest wing. And you will do the upper east wing window panes. And you will do the fourth and fifth kitchen floors.
What used to take all a woman's time and most of her energy now can be handled rapidly, easily, and effectively. Disinfecting especially is now a simple part of deep cleaning routine. A modern palace may be a split level, a colonial, even an apartment, but modern household routine doesn't have to be the drudgery it used to be. To clean and disinfect the easy, thorough, and rapid way, you can divide the work by dividing the rooms into so-called wet areas and dry areas. Kitchen, bath, laundry, basement, and pet areas are considered wet. Possible breeding grounds for mold, mildew, and household bacteria. And, oh yes, the mudroom. You know what that is. Still, muddy or dusty or musty, it's no big problem anymore, is it? To keep a home sweet and clean and healthier for every member of the family. Look at all the soaps, detergents, the specially shaped sponges and mops, the big machines and the little machines, the pre-treated rags, the pads and the bleaches to help you with those chores. They do a marvelous job, both individually and as a team. And all it takes to add germ-killing action to a wet room cleanup is a handy, easy-to-use disinfectant like Lysol. With no extra effort for you, this type of additive in your cleaning water can get way into the deep, deep roots of cleanliness. Because it goes after the causes of mildew and mold and odor-causing bacteria. In the dry rooms, bedroom, dining room, den, and playroom, you need a really hard-working spray to go with your cleaner. One that deodorizes and disinfects, not just a cover-up perfume. One that clears the air, kills the odors, and kills germs on surfaces. An easy, effective way to help protect the family. Now let's go through the house and see the difference between cleaning and deep cleaning.
All right.
But first, let's understand why we have to bother about the deep cleaning in the first place. In order to keep germs under control, it's important to know how they might move from the sick room to other parts of the house. While the blanket is bound to need some attention after it's been in the room with an illness for a while, you can stop many household germs in their tracks with a disinfectant additive. Just watch. Since you don't ordinarily use very hot water on blankets, you've got to add something to that water to do the deep cleaning job. A proven disinfectant added to the washing water helps make the blanket safer to use. So it's to help prevent the danger to health that we should use a disinfectant in the home. Floors are pathways to deep cleaning protection. And so are bathrooms. And the closets. And one of the most important rooms in the house, one we're always so especially concerned about, baby's room. This is the one that needs so much protection, and it's easy to do. Bacteria on the floor don't stand a chance in baby's room when you've used a good, proven disinfectant additive in your cleaning water. Do the playpen, too. And baby's toys. And use it in the diaper pail, too. Clean and secure now. When a surface in baby's room is cleaned and disinfected, it's good enough to belong there. That washing machine, you know, isn't a miracle maker. It can turn your whites whiter than ever, to be sure. And it can make your things look absolutely clean. But don't forget, we're talking now about deep cleaning, deep down in the microscopic world, where only an effective cleaning additive can do the disinfecting job for all your laundry. The same method works on diapers, automatically sweetening them. Okay, onward to the overthrow of mold and mildew and odors.
Okay.
Mold, which is a fungus, a one-celled plant, grows fast and grows ugly, and may have an unpleasant odor. Call it a parasite, and you'd be calling it by its rightful name. Mildew, more of the same repulsive family. No doubt you've met them in one place or another. How would you like to protect yourself and your household against them? Now, with a spray disinfectant, you can prevent mold and mildew, and consequently the odors that result from them. In damp, warm places where mildew and mold can breed, just a simple spray on such surfaces makes it easy to avoid these annoyances. In the kitchen, when the food is on the flame, the smell of cooking is delicious. Afterwards, refresh the air. Do it with a convenient deodorizing spray. Wherever you've disposed of perishable foods, kill the germs and the odors they cause with the easy push-button spray. All over the dry areas, the spray disinfectant makes it easy to help protect your family. And all over the wet areas, use the liquid disinfectant, the additive to your cleaning water that speeds up the deep cleaning, the way they never could back in the old days, even with 1,000 maids and 1,000 mops. Even with the strength of a knight of the Round Table. Even with the superior brain of a scientific discoverer. And especially, not even with the primitive ways of the world's first homemakers. No, theirs wasn't the easy life. But modern science has been making ours a lot easier, with products to help get the home cleaner and healthier. Products for an action way of living, to do the necessary hygienic work thoroughly, but rapidly enough to give you more time for the pleasure of living in a young world, an action world, a world where it's easier and faster than ever to keep homes cleaner and healthier.
Hello. Want to see where I came from? Hold your breath. First stop's the reservoir. Hold your breath again. It'll only take a minute. Here we are. Mountains, snow, forest. Wouldn't you like to live up here? Nice, clean water. Lots of it. See that beaver? See that moose? They like clean water. Getting downstream now. See those ducks? Those fish like clean water, too. Let's us go fishing. Clean water is good for everybody. That's the only kind of fish you get in this dirty water. Let's get away from here and see what's wrong. Look at that. Can't swim here. Can't even take a drink. What's going to happen to those poor fish? Poor fish.